Hello, and welcome. You're invited to sit with me here at the Archivist's desk. There is no hurry in this place, no task waiting to be completed, no destination ahead. Only this desk, this quiet moment, and time moving slowly. Here, we explore the small details often overlooked, ordinary objects, forgotten papers, everyday moments that once mattered greatly to someone. If this kind of quiet reflection feels comforting to you, you're always welcome to return. So, settle in and let us begin. The Archivist's desk, sorting through a box of 1950s receipts, Section 1. Opening the box, hello, and welcome. Tonight, you're invited once again to sit with me here at the Archivist's desk. There is no hurry here, no task waiting to be completed, no clock to be checked, no obligation pressing gently at your shoulder. Nothing is required of you except presence. Only this desk, this quiet room, and the gentle company of time moving at its own untroubled pace. If you've joined me before, you already know this is a place where small things matter, where ordinary objects are allowed to speak softly without interruption. And if this is your first visit, you are welcome to stay. There is always room here for another quiet observer, another listener who enjoys lingering a little longer than the world usually allows. Before us now rests a box. Not ornate, not gilded, not proclaiming treasure or fame, just a box. Its wooden edges are softened with age, the corners gently rounded as though it has been lifted and set down many times over the years. Perhaps it once lived on a closet shelf, or beneath a bed, or at the back of a drawer where things are placed with the intention of returning someday. The lid does not resist. It never learned to cling. It has been waiting patiently. Inside this box sleeps a quiet archive, a mosaic of ordinary moments, not arranged for display, not preserved with ceremony, but kept nonetheless. Receipts from the 1950s, not postcards, not letters, not photographs carefully labeled with names and dates. Just small slips of paper, once tucked into wallets, slid into coat pockets, placed briefly on kitchen counters, lost between the pages of books, or folded into drawers alongside keys and string and forgotten notes. Used briefly, then forgotten. And yet, here they are. Tonight, there is no rush, no dark of night to hurry us along, no destination waiting at the end of this hour. Just this desk, these papers, and time itself moving slowly, almost imperceptibly. If you find yourself growing comfortable here, if this quiet exploration feels like something you'd like to return to, you'll know where to find us again. The desk remains, the archives wait. So, let us begin. The lid lifts. A soft rustle follows the sound of paper resting against paper, decades of daily life settling gently into stillness. We lean in closer. At first, it's only fragments, corners bent, edges curled. Ink faded to pale blues and grays, straining quietly to remain legible. Some slips are thin now, almost translucent at the edges, as though light itself has been passing through them for years. Others are thicker, more confident, bearing darker ink and firmer lines. The faint scent of old paper lingers dust, cardboard, and something warmer beneath it, something difficult to name, a scent that belongs only to time. As our eyes adjust, a quiet order begins to reveal itself. Each slip here once mattered if only for a moment, a purchase made, an errand completed, a morning begun, a night drawing softly to a close. No one imagined these pieces of paper would be handled again decades later. They were never meant to last. And yet, they did. We take our time now. There is no need to rush through any of it. If your breathing has slowed, if your thoughts have softened, that's exactly as it should be. This is not history as it appears in textbooks. This is history as it lived quietly between meals, between conversations, between ordinary days. Tonight, we will listen. And as we do, if you find comfort in this unhurried attention, in these gentle journeys through forgotten moments, you may find yourself returning again. Many do. The desk will be here. We lift the first receipt. Receipt 1. The general store. The paper is thin now, almost delicate. It feels lighter than expected, as though it carries only memory and very little weight. The ink has faded, but the words remain like echoes spoken gently from another room. Miller's General Store. October 14th, 1953. A loaf of bread, 45 cents, 2 quarts of milk, 52 cents, a tin of coffee, 90 cents. Simple necessities, the quiet rhythm of an ordinary morning. I imagine the bell above the store door, perhaps it jingled softly as someone stepped inside. A light coat pulled close. Breath faintly visible in the cool October air. Wooden floors creaking beneath careful steps. Sunlight filtering through dusty windows, settling gently across shelves lined with jars, tins, sacks of flour. No hurry, no urgency, just the familiar comfort of knowing exactly what was needed and where to find it. This receipt didn't record history, but it lived inside it. We place it gently aside, and before moving on, we pause. Because sometimes the quietest moments are the ones worth returning to. Section 2. Morning errands and movement. We remain seated for a moment longer. The first receipt rests quietly to one side of the desk, its work finished, its memory shared. There is no need to hurry forward. Mornings in the 1950s did not rush the way ours often do. They unfolded gradually. With purpose, yes, but also with patience. We reach back into the box. Another slip of paper waits beneath our fingertips. This one is narrower, slightly stiffer. The edges are darker, as though they have known oil and heat and open air. Receipt 2. The gas station. The paper carries a faint scent that never truly leaves: oil, rubber, sun-warmed pavement. 3.2 gallons for 78 cents. Only a few gallons. Nothing remarkable. And yet, the promise is there. Movement. A road stretching forward, an engine humming patiently, ready to be asked something of. Perhaps this purchase happened early in the day. The sun not yet high. The sky pale and undecided. A hand reaches for the pump, metal cool to the touch. The soft clack as it's lifted into place. Numbers turning slowly, not racing, each one ticking upward with quiet assurance. Who was going somewhere that morning? A visit to family, an errand across town, a drive with no destination at all, just the comfort of motion and the familiar rhythm of tires against road. The receipt asks no questions. It does not speculate. It does not insist. It only remembers that fuel was purchased and that somewhere a journey began. We set it aside gently. There is something comforting about how little explanation these slips require. They do not demand context. They allow us to imagine or not. You're welcome to let the details drift by, or to follow them quietly if that feels right. Many who return to this desk find themselves enjoying that freedom, the choice to listen, or simply to rest. We reach again into the box. Receipt 3. The dry cleaner. This one has been folded carefully, once, twice, 3 times. It remembers being held. Harrington Cleaners, pressed trousers, 35 cents. White shirt, 25 cents. Care taken with appearance. A life lived among others. Pressed fabric. Clean lines. A collar smoothed flat with practiced hands. Perhaps this belonged to someone who worked in an office, or attended services on Sunday mornings, or simply believed that presentation mattered even when no one was watching closely. We imagine the shop itself, a long counter, wire hangers clicking softly, steam rising briefly before disappearing into the ceiling. A clerk writing neatly, ink fresh, paper crisp, clothes tagged carefully, promises made quietly. Thursday afternoon, small rituals, quiet dignity. These moments rarely make it into history books, but they lived full lives nonetheless. We place the receipt beside the others. The desk is beginning to change, not cluttered but populated. Each slip adds weight, not in grams or ounces, but in meaning. If you're finding comfort in this slow accumulation, this gentle layering of everyday life, you're not alone. Many listeners return not for novelty, but for familiarity. The box offers more. Receipt 4, the hardware store. This one feels different immediately. Heavier paper, darker ink, more confident lines. Wilson hardware nails, 2 pounds, 40 cents. Turpentine, 65 cents. A hammer handle, 35 cents. Linseed oil, 55 cents. A steel putty knife, 49 cents. This receipt speaks of work, hands busy, tasks waiting. Perhaps a fence had begun to lean. A porch step had grown unsteady. A window frame needed care before winter arrived. We imagine the hardware store, tall shelves reaching upward, drawers filled with screws labeled in careful handwriting. The smell of wood, of metal, of paint and possibility. Sunlight spilling in through the front windows, dust dancing briefly before settling again. Outside, maybe a radio plays low and constant, the voice of a broadcaster keeping gentle company as work unfolds. No rush, no spectacle, just steady effort. This receipt remembers an afternoon well spent. We pause again. It's easy to forget how much of life once involved making, mending, repairing. If you find yourself appreciating these details, the quiet competence of them, you may find comfort returning to this desk again. There are always more moments waiting. Receipt 5. The corner bakery. This one feels lighter, almost cheerful. Rosemary's Bakery, cinnamon rolls, 6, 60 cents. Coffee to go, 2 cups, 20 cents. Butter cookies, 1 dozen, 45 cents. A box tied with string, paper warm to the touch. Sugar dusted lightly on fingers, leaving faint traces behind. Perhaps the bakery door opened to the sound of conversation, laughter moving easily through the room. Glass cases filled with careful arrangements, rolls glazed and waiting, cookies stacked neatly, their edges just golden enough. Coffee poured into simple cups, lids fitted securely, steam rising gently into the air. These purchases were not rushed. They were meant to be shared. At a kitchen table, across from someone familiar, with time enough to sit and sip and linger. We place the receipt down softly. The desk now holds the shape of a morning. Fuel for movement, clothes made ready, tools gathered. Bread and sweetness carried home. Not remarkable days, not extraordinary ones, just lived. If this rhythm feels soothing, if you find yourself settling deeper into it, you're exactly where you need to be. There is no expectation here, only continuation. We reach once more into the box. Receipt 6, the laundromat, self-service laundry wash, 10 cents, dry, 15 cents. Soap flakes, 5 cents. Starch, 8 cents. The hum of machines begins immediately in the mind, low, steady, unconcerned with time. Clothes tumble slowly, water turns, cycles complete themselves without commentary. A folding table stands nearby, cool to the touch, waiting. Steam rises briefly, softening the air. Perhaps someone reads the paper. Perhaps conversation drifts lazily between neighbors. Or perhaps there is only silence, the comfortable kind shared without explanation. Time here is measured not in minutes, but in motion. We let the sound fade. We pause again. Morning has gently unfolded into midday. The desk reflects it now, a quiet progression captured in paper and ink. If you feel inclined to stay to continue this slow journey, the box remains open. And so do we. Section 3. Midday City Life. The desk rests quietly now, holding the shape of a morning that is slowly unfolded. Errands completed, hands warmed by work, coffee shared. There is no clear dividing line between morning and afternoon, no bell to announce the change. It simply happens. Light shifts almost imperceptibly. Shadows move a few inches across the floor. The day continues. We return our attention to the box. Receipt 7, the pharmacy. This paper is neat, orderly, printed with care. Greenwood Pharmacy, aspirin, 29 cents. Cough syrup, 49 cents. Vitamins, 100 tablets, 79 cents. Face cream, 65 cents. Quiet care, offered without ceremony. Perhaps someone stood at the counter speaking softly, a concern mentioned briefly without elaboration. A headache eased, a cough softened, a sense of balance restored. Behind the counter, bottles line the shelves, labels precise, handwriting careful. The pharmacist measures slowly, deliberately, no rushing. A paper bag folded closed, stapled once, handed across with a nod. That night, someone sleeps more comfortably. The receipt does not say so, but it remembers the intention. We place it beside the others. There is something steady about these moments of care. They do not announce themselves, they simply support the day so it may continue. If you find yourself relaxing further, allowing the edges of thought to soften, this desk has a way of encouraging that. You're welcome to stay as long as you like. Many listeners do. Receipt 8, the school supply store. This one carries promise. Educational Supply Company. Notebook, 15 cents. Fountain pen ink, 25 cents. Loose leaf paper, 20 cents. Eraser, 5 cents. A wooden ruler, 12 cents. Fresh paper, unmarked, waiting. The smell is distinct, clean, slightly sharp, full of possibility. We imagine a child, or perhaps a young adult, standing at a counter, hands resting lightly on the glass, the ruler smooth and warm, the eraser pale and unused, ink sealed carefully in a small bottle. A desk waits somewhere, a chair pulled back, light falling across blank pages. Lessons will unfold slowly, day by day, written line by line, mistakes erased, ideas refined. This receipt holds the beginning of effort, of learning, of becoming. We set it down gently. The desk now feels fuller, not crowded, but alive. Lives intersect here briefly, then move on. You may notice how easily the mind wanders among these details. That's part of the invitation. There is no need to hold on to anything, no need to remember every line. The experience itself is enough. Receipt 9, the barber shop. This paper is narrow, trimmed cleanly. Frank's Barber, haircut, 50 cents. Shave, 35 cents. Hair tonic, 20 cents. We hear the sound immediately, scissors opening and closing, soft, precise. A chair swivels gently, leather worn smooth by years of use. Warm shaving cream applied carefully. A straight razor drawn slowly, with confidence earned through repetition. Perhaps conversation drifts about the weather, the paper, nothing in particular. Or perhaps silence settles in, comfortable and unremarkable. The barber knows this rhythm well, so does the chair. A mirror checked one last time, a small nod of approval. The receipt marks a pause in the day, a moment of maintenance. We place it aside. Midday has a different quality, less urgency, more ease. If you're listening quietly, perhaps resting your eyes, this is a good place to linger. Some listeners choose to return here often, others continue forward. Both are welcome. Receipt 10. The Florist. This slip feels special. Softer paper, ink slightly bolder. Evergreen florals, carnations, and baby's breath, $3.40. A purchase not made out of necessity, but feeling. We imagine the shop, buckets of water, stems cut fresh, petals opening slowly. The air carries scent sweet, green, alive. Someone chooses carefully, not hurried, considering color, balance, meaning. Perhaps the flowers are meant for celebration, or apology, or remembrance. The receipt does not say. It only records that someone cared enough to stop, to choose, to carry beauty forward. We rest it on the desk. Receipt 11. The Cafe. This one bears a date, 2 pies, $2.16, June 12th, 1957. Midday warmth lingers. A small cafe, checkered tablecloths, light moving slowly across the room. 2 plates placed gently on the table, forks resting neatly beside them. Steam rises. The scent of fruit and pastry fills the air. Conversation unfolds without rush, or perhaps there is only shared silence, comfortable, unpressured. Time here is not measured strictly. No one is watching the clock. The receipt remembers that this moment was allowed to last. We pause. The desk is no longer just a surface. It has become a gathering place for meals, for care, for learning, for small indulgences. If this unhurried pace suits you, if it feels like something you'd enjoy again, you already know where to return. The desk does not close its doors. Receipt 12. The Cinema. This paper is slightly glossy. 2 tickets. Rebel Without a Cause, 1955. The lights dim. A darkened room opens before us. Rows of seats. A hush settles. Popcorn rustles softly. Someone clears their throat. Then stillness. For 2 hours, the world waits outside. Stories flicker across the screen, larger than life, intimate all the same. When the lights rise again, the day resumes, but something lingers. The receipt remembers that escape was once purchased for the price of a ticket. We place it carefully aside. Midday begins its gentle lean toward afternoon. The box remains patient, and so do we. Section 4. Work, routine, and daily care. The desk holds a quiet balance now, not excitement, not stillness, something in between. Midday has passed gently, and afternoon begins its slow settling. The box remains open, unconcerned with time, willing to share a little more. Receipt 13. The Bookstore. This paper feels deliberate, chosen. Maple Street Books, the collected poems of Emily Dickinson. $5.75. We imagine shelves rising high, their spines pressed closely together, each one waiting patiently. Someone lingers here, not browsing quickly, but moving slowly, letting fingers trace titles. The quiet of the shop is different from other places. No machines humming, no tools clinking, just pages, breath, thought. A book is chosen not for necessity, but companionship, words carried home to be opened carefully. Perhaps in the evening, perhaps again and again. The receipt remembers that someone wanted language to last longer than the day. We place it gently on the desk. Routine continues. Life, after all, is not made only of moments meant to be remembered, but of habits repeated until they become invisible. We reach again. Receipt 14. The butcher. This one is sturdy. Henderson Meats, sirloin, $3.25. Bacon, $1.10. Eggs, 79 cents. Food meant for gathering. We imagine the shop, a counter lined with clean paper, knives resting carefully behind it. The scent unmistakable, fresh, substantial. Orders are called out calmly, wrapped securely, tied neatly. At home, a table will be set slowly, plates warmed, conversation stretching lazily through the afternoon. This receipt remembers preparation not just of a meal, but of time shared. We set it aside. Receipt 15. The train station. This slip feels official. Union Station, one-way fare, $4.80. A journey beginning. We imagine the platform. Footsteps echo softly, suitcases set down carefully, then lifted again. The low murmur of announcements, the distant sound of engines waiting. A ticket folded once, then tucked away. Someone stands still for a moment, taking it all in. Then motion, doors close, the train moves forward. The receipt does not tell us where the journey led, only that it began. We let it rest. The afternoon deepens. Work gives way to adjustment, to the small tasks that keep life aligned. Receipt 16. The shoe repair. This paper is practical, reliable. Cobbler, heel replacement, 85 cents. Shoes given a second life. Leathers softened by wear, soles smoothed carefully. We imagine the shop, tools arranged neatly, a bench marked by years of use. A craftsman works patiently, not rushing, restoring balance one step at a time, miles yet to be walked. The receipt remembers that nothing was discarded too quickly. Receipt 17. The tailor. Another small adjustment. Modern tailoring, hem adjustment, 40 cents. Clothes made to fit, lives adjusted gently. Fabric measured, pinned, trimmed with care. A mirror checked again. A nod of satisfaction. The day continues more comfortably. We place the receipt down. Routine has a rhythm. It does not call attention to itself. It supports everything else quietly. If you find yourself feeling grounded here, steady, untroubled, that is part of the desk's gift. Many who listen return for that very reason. Receipt 18. The newsstand. This one is brief. Daily Tribune, evening paper, 5 cents. Headlines read quietly, folded neatly, set aside. News arrives and then passes. What remains is the act itself, standing at the corner, paper in hand, the day nearing its close. We let it rest. The desk now holds the full shape of a working day. Meals prepared, journeys begun, things mended, words chosen. Nothing rushed, nothing wasted. If you're listening from somewhere quiet or even somewhere busy, this slow unfolding has a way of traveling with you. We reach into the box once more. Receipt 19. The ice cream stand. This paper is light, sunny scoop, vanilla cones, 20 cents. A warm evening, ice cream melting faster than expected, laughter unrecorded. 2 cones held carefully, drips caught before they fall. This receipt remembers joy without explanation. We smile softly and set it aside. Receipt 20. The stationery shop. The final slip waits patiently. Paper and pen envelopes, 10 cents. Ink, 15 cents. Letters written, thoughts sealed, words sent outward into the world. We imagine a desk not unlike this one, lamp glowing softly. A pen moves slowly, pauses often. When finished, the envelope is closed gently, address written carefully. The receipt remembers that someone reached outward, quietly. We pause. The afternoon has done its work, and the evening waits. Section 5. Evening, leisure, and quiet streets. The desk feels different now, not heavier, just settled. The day has completed its long arc, and evening arrives without announcement. Outside, light lowers itself slowly. Windows reflect more than they reveal. Shadows soften at their edges. The box remains open, but its contents have changed in feeling. What remains now belongs to the later hours, to moments that asked for nothing more than presence. The receipts we've placed across the desk no longer feel separate. They speak to one another quietly. Work answers leisure, movement answers rest, preparation answers enjoyment. If you've stayed with me this far, listening without effort, you've already discovered something important. There is comfort in returning to places that do not demand attention, only quiet curiosity. And this desk is always here for that. We notice the space between receipts now, the pauses, the moments where nothing needed to be recorded. Evening lives there. The cafe revisited. We return briefly to the idea of the cafe, not to the receipt, but to the feeling. A small room lit warmly, lamps glowing instead of sunlight, cups refilled without asking, chairs pulled a little closer together, conversations slow, words stretched gently between silences. Some evenings are filled with talk, others are content with none at all. The important thing is that no one is in a hurry. Outside, the street changes. Shops close their doors one by one, signs dim. Footsteps become less frequent. The city exhales. If you imagine walking now, coat buttoned, hands in pockets, you'll notice how sound carries differently. A car passes occasionally. A radio plays somewhere behind a window. A laugh drifts briefly, then disappears. Evening does not try to impress. It simply arrives and invites stillness. Leisure, without record. Not every moment leaves a receipt behind. Some evenings were spent at home, chairs angled toward a radio cabinet, dials adjusted carefully. Music fills the room softly, or voices from far away, news, comedy, drama. Travel through the air. A lamp is switched on, a book is opened. Pages turn slowly, time stretches. These moments were never itemized, never tallied, and yet they were among the most lasting. If you find yourself listening now, with eyes closed, breathing slow, you're experiencing the same thing these receipts point toward: the value of unmeasured time. This is why many listeners choose to return here, not for novelty, but for familiarity, a place that does not change too quickly. The streets at night. Later still, the streets grow quieter. Streetlights glow steadily. Windows reflect the night back outward. Somewhere, a train passes in the distance. Not close enough to interrupt, just close enough to be noticed. The day loosens its grip. Responsibilities wait until morning. For now, there is permission to rest. We look once more across the desk. Everything has found its place. The box is nearly ready to be closed. But before we do, we allow ourselves a moment longer. Because moments like this, unhurried, undemanding, are worth returning to. And if this quiet sorting, this gentle attention to forgotten things, has felt comforting, you may wish to return again. The desk will remain. The archives will wait. Evening deepens, and soon we will close the box. Our time here comes softly to a close. The desk grows quiet once more, but it does not disappear. If you found comfort in this hour, in these small details and unhurried moments, you're always welcome to return. New discoveries wait patiently, ready to be noticed. Until next time, here at the Archivist's desk, I wish you a peaceful, restful night.